Thank you everyone for joining. Good morning. You are all coming from different parts and supporting us this program. First, I want to thank God for this opportunity. More than that, I appreciate each and every one of you for joining us. That said, I want to say one word about Relief Corner and want to thank Dr. Seji Matai, the CEO and founder of this organization called Relief Corner. Relief Corner is an online platform committed to enhance the mental health and well-being of the community through professional services and education. It is 100% free and confidential. And once again, thank you all for joining us. And if you need more information of Relief Corner, Dr. Saji Matai will be here with us towards the end. We can ask more questions. And because it's a precious Saturday for everyone, busy commitment, so we will dive into our topic and then we will appreciate questions towards the end. As we all know, we always talk about success in life, how to be successful in life. Success in life, what is it actually? For each one, it may be different, right? Success, for some people, it may be happiness, it may be being content, it may be achieving many things in life. But according to psychology, success in life requires more than just intellectual ability. As we know, psychologists have described intelligent quotient, emotional quotient, spiritual quotient, social quotient, and adversity quotient, and it creates a foundation for holistic growth and fulfillment. So success is, in one word, told us it's a holistic growth and fulfillment. How do we achieve fulfillment in life, or how do we achieve holistic growth in life? We all went through different academia, and we know that as we start education as a kindergarten, it emphasizes always, or the importance is always given to intelligence quotient. We as parents, we as teachers, we always encourage children to achieve the first in class, but we sometimes forget the other important things like the emotional quotient or spiritual quotient, social quotient, or adversary quotient. So let's see what is each one of them. We will go one by one. So intelligent quotient. Intelligent quotient, as we know, it provides analytical and problem-solving skills and logical thinking. In school, to memorize parts, to do the problems very fast, to be very good in math and different things that. So it is a problem-solving skills and logical thinking. And we give a lot of importance to that in our school system. This is the measure of your level of comprehension. And this is very essential for academic achievement and professional competence. Of course, it's needed. We need a professional competence and academic achievement to keep our professions going. But IQ alone does not ensure happiness or successful leadership. We say that you have to achieve first rank or top rankers to achieve good job in corporate field or in any field in leadership or in any way. But if we don't balance our other quotients, as we are going to discuss, we may not be successful, or we may not be happy or content, or we may not make a smooth leadership in our positions. So what are the some tips we can do ourselves to improve our IQ? So daily we can, in the morning, we can read or learn something new. Every day, make sure we learn something new every day. Do some brain exercise like doing puzzles, strategy games, or different things to improve our brain functions. Manage time effectively. Just don't do things like in our own time, like as we like, but make sure we have a plan and we do the time management very carefully. And at the every day, ask ourselves, what can I understand better today? So that is the key for IQ, and it improves IQ. So every day we do something to understand better, learning something new, and that is more about IQ. But IQ alone is not, it is only one piece of the puzzle in the success to make life successful. So the very important next part of this life success is emotional quotient. Emotional quotient is understanding and managing our emotions. We know that our emotions, our feelings are very, very important for us to interact with others, for us to solve conflicts. We have to understand our emotions first, and also understanding the emotions of others. How do we do that? This is the measure of our ability to maintain peace, being humble, being genuine in our conversation, and being very considerate. So this emotional quotient builds empathy, resilience, and strong relationships. Otherwise, in short, in olden time, we used to say it is the character we define this person. So this is a total of like our character. And this is very important in leadership and teamwork. We all are engaged every day with different teams. We are all one way or other way as leaders in our community, in our workplace, and in different aspects of our life. But how do we balance this? So, what can we do daily practice to improve our emotional quotient? Number one, we have to pause ourselves and name our own feelings. How do we feel every day? What is our feeling in this situation at work, at conflict, when it is first, before we responding to that, so a problem or the conflict, first you can respond or acknowledge. For example, your child is screaming or your coworker is screaming. You can acknowledge it. Yes, I understand the problem is there, but don't react in a way that you are going to express your emotions with anger or different things. So you have to acknowledge that feeling, but don't react in that situation with your emotions. You have to control your emotions to fit or bring peace into that situation. So, what can we do daily to improve this? We have to pause and know our emotions, know ourselves. Our feelings are very, very important. If we are going angry from home to work, if we are depressed on something, if we are hopeless on something, if we have frustrated or stressed, we have to know our own emotions before even we respond to others. So that's very important part. Practice empathy and active listening. A lot of time at workplace or at home or at when we deal with children, we don't give time to listen to others. We start talking and we give our own reasons. Yes, I told, so you have to do this. It's not like that. So we have to practice empathy and listen to them before we respond. And another important part we have to practice every day is gratitude journaling for our to strengthen our emotional quotient. We have to have a gratitude journal at the end of the day or in the beginning. Usually at the end of the day, look at all the events, all the things happened in your life and put the gratitude there. So at the end of the day, you will be most of the time able to see that you had more blessings than your shortcomings. And very important point, another point is how can I uplift someone today? Those are the exercises we have to do. How can I uplift someone today? When we go to work, you think, how can I uplift my staff? How can I uplift my students? How can I uplift somebody else at the store or wherever we go when we come in on the road, especially driving or at the store when we are in a line or something. How can I uplift someone today? Just with our gestures, sometimes with a smile, or just sometimes just with our appreciating words. So the next important question is spiritual question. A lot of time we ignore and we are not bold enough to talk about that. We just usually skip that portion. So spiritual quotient is very important to balance our life and to be successful. So what is spiritual quotient? It is living with meaning. Our life, God gave each one of us life for a meaning. It is very precious. And it connecting the values and higher purpose. Our life has a higher value, a higher purpose. And it provides inner peace. So doing so with the spiritual connection with our spirituality, it gives us inner peace. It helps us to keep ethics in life. It helps us to have a purpose in life. And those are very important. And this aligns decisions with integrity and values. We are responsible for each action or each word, which brings integrity and values in life. So, having this, it builds resilience during challenging times. Having a spiritual connection with our Almighty help us to have resilience during challenging times. A lot of times we see that people will give up and they don't have hope. But this is one thing, when we have strong faith in hope or foundation of hope, foundation in God, we have more strength and we are resilient to survive our conflicts, or we are able to show resilience in spite of our setbacks. So what can we do to improve our spiritual quotient? So daily, what can we do? We can start the day with a reflection, with prayer, or with meditation, or yoga, and things like that. So we can align our actions with values. So we do all these things in the morning, but when we go, we are a saint at home, we prayed everything, but when we are on the road itself, we have road rage. Or when we are at work, we are immediately, instead of in a calm way reacting, we react with anger a lot of time. So we have to have that spiritual quotient to control us a little bit, serve others with kindness. So always this help us. Spiritual quotient gives us more inner strength to serve others with kindness. Stay grounded in hope and have resilience, and ask ourselves every day, did my actions today add meaning? At the end of the day, ask ourselves and reflect, did my actions today add meaning to anyone, or to meaning to God, or meaning to me, mainly to others around us? Social quotient is another important factor to keep us balanced and to keep us have success in life. Social quotient is sometimes called as charisma, which means grace in Greek language, or K-A-R-I-S-M-A, charisma. It is like a divine gift from God. So no matter what, if we believe in God, we know that we are all creations of God. So then we are all beautiful in our own way. So it governs how well we connect and cooperate with others at work, at home, in society, in community, in churches, in all our leadership, or in day-to-day life. So it builds network. Our social quotient help us to build network, improve our friendship and community bonds. So the friendship is not like one day I met this person, I said hi, but it helped us to keep long-lasting connections. Like most of my friends who joined today here, this is like a fruit of the long-lasting friendship, I can say that. So we all connect each other because they keep their long-lasting friendship. I keep their long-lasting friendship. We may not call every day, but it's in our heart, and our actions and the words reflect each other when we meet together. And we know that that person is a call away. I can call that person for my problems. Things like that. Essential, social quotient is very essential for thriving in society and teamwork. So in any teamwork to improve, we need to have social quotient. For example, in bigger corporates like Google, look, like LinkedIn, they all have social hours, they all have social time where they have like a time with the food and other social time where they commit themselves to volunteer for many activities or fundraising, or even to allow the employees to know each other. Sometimes they allow their employees to bring their family. I used to work with one of the surgeons, but he was very different and a very good, excellent surgeon. When I used to work in vascular surgery at the VA, he used to take us every weekend, his team, all the vascular surgery team, doctors, nurses, NPs, PAs, with our families for like a small outing, like some shows and different things like that. So what I'm saying is, whatever possible in our community, whatever possible in our work area, sometimes having like a day of lunch together, or having birthday parties together, or something to have a social connection and improve the model. You know that in Bible always we say that Jesus Christ always had food and connection when he was teaching his disciples, or teaching the community, or helping. But there was food is a factor, and having social connections strengthens collaboration and relationships. uh, Daily practices, simple things. What can we do to improve our social quotient? One is we have to, even before we say anything, we see a person, we can smile genuinely, try to remember their names, practice active listening, tune into other people's needs, ask whether I can help, offer appreciation, cultivate self awareness, build relationship, and socialize intentionally. A lot of people say, I am not a social person, I don't like that. But try to socialize intentionally, because this is a piece of the puzzle which will make you an effective leader, or which will make you like a successful person. Another important key factor: praise publicly, criticize privately. There are many more topics, but because of the time things, I am not explaining too much or giving any examples. But we know that these are simple points to remember: praise publicly, criticize privately. So another very, very important point is adversity quotient. I'm so overwhelmed to talk about this topic, because this is a very tough topic which we ignore, which is an important topic, but we ignore in bringing up our generation, especially the newer generation, younger generation, who grew in nuclear families. The children are pampered. They don't know how to face adverse question. We know that a lot of young people give up or commit suicide because they didn't get first rank or the top position in school, or they didn't get the person who they loved, things like that. So we have to learn a little bit more time. I'm going to take a little bit more time about adversity quotient. Adversity quotient is a measure of your ability, or our ability, to go through a rough patch in life and come out of it without losing our mind, or facing setbacks. When we face with troubles, it can be a problem in family relationship with husband and wife, or with children, or at work. Adversity, you are like you got fired from work. But how do we face these things? Adversity quotient determines who will give up, and who will abandon their family, or who will consider suicide, or who will kind of give up in life. But we have to, let me give you an example. Suppose this person, it is our choice always to take decisions in adversity quotient. Suppose we have two children, and one Joe and one is Dave. So Joe was always told by his parents he is the best, he can do anything, he's so brilliant, and that is how he was taught. He was never taught about failures in life, or problems will happen in life, or conflict in life. So Joe was always number one in his class, top and everything. And Whereas Dave was told by his parents that there will be problems in life, there will be different setbacks in life. But when you have problems, always know that you have to know that there are always different ways to get out of the problem, and you can focus on different things and get to that solution, get to that problem and get that solution solved, or you can get different aspects to be successful. So Joe and Dave both were bright students. They went to corporate, they completed their higher education, degrees, doctorate, and everything. They went to leadership and they went to corporate levels. And when the first one was in work, he had some issues with his workplaces, and he thought all what he is saying is right all the time, and he was not willing to learn from others who were senior to him or who were like not as educated like him. So he was always upset at his work. And then, he gave up and he resigned. Whereas the other person, Dave, know that he took criticisms very constructively. He appreciated what they told his setbacks. He went back and corrected it, and he had a good teamwork with them, and he became the topper in the corporate work because of his adversity quotient, how to deal with that situation. He saw how to go around that problem and how to fix it, and he was listening to others. So what are the daily practices we can do? Acknowledge feeling. Always, like I told before, always acknowledge our feeling. It can be brokenness due to some relationship. It can be anger with what happened in life. It can be frustration of things are not moving the way you want to move, or hopelessness, you lost a job, or you lost a loved one, or you lost many things in life. No, it didn't work according to you, and you are so helpless and you don't know what to do. So acknowledge those feelings. So when we acknowledge that we have these feelings, we are opening room for hopefulness. When you say I am hopeless, it means that you have a room to improve and to be hopeful in life. So ask yourself, the practices we have to do is one, acknowledge your feeling. You have, of course, whatever that feelings you have, hopelessness or frustration, anger, but ask yourself how long you want to be in this situation. Do you want to continue your hopelessness in all your life, or you want to continue your anger all your life? You don't want to forgive? How long you want to be that in that situation. Usually people say maybe a day, but if the situation is very terrible, they may say I want to be frustrated for a week or a month or so long. But we see that some people, for some reason, something happened terrible for them 10 years ago, but they still keep that situation in mind and they are not willing to move. They are still hopeless. That is no. We have to have adversity quotient, and we need to teach our children all those things. That's very important, how they can come out of that situation. For example, if there's a pit, we fell into a pit, what do we do? That is a choice for all of us. Do you want to be there for like a minute, many hours, a day, or a maybe week or a month? We try to come out of the pit as soon as possible, right? So like that, any situation which is giving us hopelessness or frustration, we have to do the best to come out of that. So next point is what we need to do. So we have to think, use our IQ. What can we do to come out of this pit, or what can I do to be getting good grade in my schools, or what can I do next to be successful in my leadership position or in my job or in my relationship? What I have to do, what we need to do, and use our IQ to use that task. Actually, if we try, we can, a lot of us can do it by ourselves by changing our thinking and routine and studying or improving and practicing. But a lot of people need counseling. That's how organizations like Reliefcorner come. They are there to provide free professional services. You don't know what to do, call them. So why does balance matter? I'm sorry, before that, yeah, why does balance matter? Balancing mind, heart, and spirit is very important for daily successful life. And it is the key. When all these 4 or 5 questions are achieved, personal success will be meaningful and successful. So to keep in a daily routine, in the morning, what can we do to improve our these different questions in a day? So in the morning, we can have prayer and reflection, like the spiritual question. Reading can improve, that is in the morning, like a IQ, improving our IQ. During the work day, problem solving, we don't want to come home like frustrated from the problems from work. So we can use our IQ and EQ there and solve the problems. And collaboration and teamwork, have some fun at work and relax, that is our social quotient. In the evening, have the gratitude journaling at the end of the day. What did I do? What were my blessings? That will help us to have EQ. And again, prayer and reflection in the evening. And so when we do all these things together and balance together, success will happen. That is like thinking smart plus feeling deeply and living meaningfully. So a lot of us think smart, we feel deeply, but to come to living meaningful, we are not content in our life, or we are unhappy. We think I have to do more different things to achieve happiness. So IQ provides knowledge and problem solving skills. EQ enables empathy and emotional awareness. SQ builds purpose, values, and integrity. And social quotient strengthens collaboration and relationship. AQ enhances resilience to bounce back. So this is almost the same I told, so I'm skipping that slide. So success is not about excelling in one question alone, but creating balance across all 4. So let us look at few celebrities or few global leaders who balance their IQ, EQ, SQ, SOQ, and AQ. So when we look at Eleanor Roosevelt, he pioneered human rights and global cooperation, and that was his IQ and EQ working. And then he had unwavering moral clarity and social influence. Nelson Mandela, the same thing. He had political strategies through his IQ. He had forgiveness and unity through his emotional quotient, and moral authority through his spiritual and social quotient. Indra Nui, you all know, she is an Indian origin US business leader, or the CEO of the Pepsi Cola company. And you know that she created, and she was named as the best um, leader, women leader, and in corporate world, because of her business expansion using her IQ, her caring leadership to her employees through her EQ, and empathy-driven culture in the organization, and using SQ and social quotient every day in her corporate life. So the key takeaways for us is balanced leadership. The leaders exemplify how true influence blends intellect with empathy, moral integrity, and social awareness. We know that the holistic approach, when using IQ, EQ, SQ, and SOQ, and AQ, help us to have a synergetic effect, and we will bring holistic success in life, and we will keep a sustainable legacy. So this will help us to have our legacy for years through our work in balancing all those 5. So when I told about AQ, I have advice, or I learned this from reading other literature and all. It says that parents in this parents in this time have to be very careful. Parents, you have to please expose your children to other areas of life than just academics and be high in IQ. They should adore manual labor. They should be given chances to do chores at work, chores at home, like taking care of cleaning their room, bathroom, doing their laundry, doing their little grocery shopping, things like that. Help them to engage in sports and arts with other children, with other people, to develop their social quotient, emotional quotient, adversity quotient, etc. They have to know that there will be adversities in life no matter what. You can be beautiful, you can be having the high IQ, you can have a lot of money, but you, to be successful, they need to balance all those 5 questions together. They should become multifaceted human beings, able to do things independently of their parents. Do not prepare the road for your children. Prepare your children for the road. Always remember that. And especially in our Indian community, you see that parents do too much for their children and spoil them. So again, this is the last balancing IQ, EQ, SQ, SoQ, which is the social quotient, and adversity quotient leads to holistic success, like I just mentioned earlier, synergetic effect. Combining all those together will give us a synergetic effect and success in life. So driven and fulfilling life. So our life will be meaningful if we balance all those together, and we will be able to keep sustainable legacy in life and leave our legacy for our generation. So true success is not measured by what we achieve alone, but by the balance we create and the impact we leave behind. And thank you everyone for joining, and